I had just become the lead of the homicide unit, the youngest detective in the town's history. They called me a prodigy, said I had a gift for seeing the patterns others missed, and for a while, I believed them, especially when he started. The press called him the Creeper, a tall, cloaked figure. An old porcelain doll mask with tattered strings of hair glinting under the streetlights, leaving a trail of absolute carnage. His victims were always young, dumb kids, really. Teenagers who thought they were invincible. The first was a high school quarterback found in the locker room. The scene was gut-wrenching in its violence. It was art in a twisted, horrifying way. I remember standing there, the metallic tang of blood thick in the air, and feeling not revulsion, but a strange kind of professional admiration. This was a craftsman, a perfectionist, and I was the only one who could catch him. Another one followed a week later. A cheerleader behind the bleachers. The details were even more grisly. Each scene was a puzzle, a macabre tableau, and I was always one step behind. I'd find a fiber from his cloak, a partial footprint near the exit, a smudged handprint he almost wiped clean. It was like he was toying with me, leaving me breadcrumbs. "Come and get me," they seemed to whisper. The city was in a panic. The other detectives, seasoned vets with gray in their hair, they were stumped. They looked to me, the boy genius, to solve it. And the pressure mounted. I stopped sleeping. I lived on black coffee and nicotine. My office walls plastered with crime scene photos, victim profiles, maps with red string connecting the dots. The faces of those kids, they haunted me. The chase became my entire world. It was an obsession, a frantic, desperate dance. I'd get a call in the dead of night. Race to a scene, sirens wailing, my heart hammering against my ribs. And every time, I'd just miss him. I'd feel the lingering cold of his presence, smell the faint scent of rain and damp earth from his cloak. It was exhilarating. He was my white whale, my Moriarty. He completed me. Then came the night that shattered everything. We got a tip, a possible sighting in the old abandoned textile mill on the edge of town. I went in alone, telling Scott to cover the perimeter. It was a tactical mistake, but I couldn't help it. I had to face him myself. This was our final act. The mill was a cathedral of decay, moonlight slanting through shattered windows. I moved through the silence, my hand on my gun, every nerve ending screaming. I found the spot. 2 local teens pinned up with rusted nails. One gutted and the other beheaded. Fresh blood, still wet, glistening on the concrete floor. But no body. Just a discarded porcelain doll mask, lying beside a long, dark cloak. I crouched down, my breath catching in my throat. This was it, the final clue. I reached out a gloved hand to pick up the mask, and as my fingers brushed against it, I saw something reflected in its polished, vacant eyes. It was him, here for the final face-off. But this time, I wouldn't let him escape. I went for my gun, but he was quicker. He swung his blade swiftly, but just barely missed my ribs. I shot him twice in the chest, and watched him drop the knife and fall to the ground. Then, before I could leave, I felt a numbness in my legs and warmth running down my abdomen, and just like that, I was out. I awoke in a haze, dizzy, blurred vision, and confused. As my partner, Detective Scott's dismembered remains lay next to me. I heard a familiar voice say, "It was Chief Williams." He was helping me up, and 1 second I was leaning on him, and the next, I wedged my Bowie knife in his throat. And then, it all came flooding back. Not like a memory, but like waking from a dream. The surge of adrenaline. The weight of the blade in my hand, so much more intimate than a gun. The look in their eyes, that flicker of disbelief turning to sheer terror. The warmth of the blood, the exquisite, grisly artistry of it all. The blackouts I'd been having, the lost time I'd blamed on stress and exhaustion. It wasn't lost at all. It was just occupied. By him. By me. I started to laugh. A low, quiet chuckle at first, then a full-throated, unhinged roar that echoed through the empty mill. All this time, I wasn't hunting a monster. I was chasing my own shadow. I wasn't trying to stop him. I was admiring my own work, critiquing it, pushing myself to be better, more elusive, more perfect. I stood up, the mask now in my bare hand. The cloak felt like a second skin as I pulled it from the floor. They called me a prodigy. A boy genius who could get inside the mind of a killer. They had no idea how right they were. The hunt is over. But my work, my real work, is just beginning. Let them send another prodigy. I'll be waiting. And I promise, I won't make it easy for them. After all, I know all the patterns. I wrote them. And now I am the new chief. And we will catch this killer.